everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this concert. My name is Chingy Lin.
And I'm Lin-Braddock.
We're playing for you from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and you've just heard the Mozart duet for violin and viola. Mozart also wrote another one in the key of B flat for violin and viola, but we just love this one, the G major, starting with this beautiful chord at the very beginning to welcome all of you to our concert.
The next piece on the program is the first movement of a work by the American composer Michael Rose. Michael Rose is a professor and composer at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. The name of this work is Unturned Stones, and it's in some ways a reference to his joy of experiencing nature and hunting and seeking out little wonderful artifacts found in nature. One of the things that I love about this movement is the contrasting characters. And I think in some of the slower sections, what you'll hear is some of that grittiness where he makes the instruments almost sound like dirt, like he's searching in the woods. So I hope you enjoy the first movement of Michael Rose's Unturned Stones.
So Andy and I both teach at Western Kentucky University, and I don't want to speak for Andy, but I think my true calling was actually teaching children. So at the beginning of every school year, every semester actually, we would go into various schools and play music for children. We just love playing violin and letting the kids know that they can have an opportunity to learn if they like to. Violin actually comes in all different sizes. So this is my daughter's. Was this 32nd or
16?
16 size violin. She's 22 months old and she can already pick out the tailpiece, the strings, and we love teaching children how to play music. And every time that we go and perform for these children, we always like to paint them a story, the story that music can tell, and we wanted to play some of these pieces for you today.
So the three works that we're going to be playing are a part of these presentations that we give at schools. And these three pieces come from a set of 44 duos written by the Hungarian composer Bela Bartok. And these duos are kind of a whole entire world of music, and they have so many different influences. One of the things that Bartok was known for was his study of folk music. And so Bartok would go out into the countryside and transcribe the melodies that he heard from the villagers. And these three pieces are all based on the music that he found in these villages. So the first one is a slow, mournful song, and it has a very open type of sound to it, but it's also a little sad. The next movement is called The Mosquito, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And we also do our best to sound like annoying mosquitoes by making kind of a scratchy sound on our instruments. And the final movement is a rousing dance with lots of pizzicato, and I think you'll feel the peasant-like energy in this piece.
So one of the questions we get asked a lot now as musicians is, what do you do with performance and teaching during COVID time? And the answer to that from me is not everybody's as lucky as I am to have a built-in wonderful violist at home to play with.
Some would call that unlucky, but...
But a couple of weeks ago, we held a camp for our students. And Andy, you want to tell them a little bit about this camp you directed?
Sure. So this camp was a digital strings camp done through Zoom, all virtually. And the big project that we had our students do, it was centered around the Bartok duos, 3 of which you just listened to. And for each group, we paired 2 students together, and they learned the duos and made individual recordings of their part. And then they learned how to put them together in a single video. So it was like they were playing together even though they were at their own homes the whole time.
Yeah. And we wanted to show you a short clip of our favorite performance that really depicts what I think COVID is like right now. We hope that gave you a little chuckle. I mean, we certainly laughed quite hard the first time we saw it.
So our idea with this program today was to play shorter selections of pieces to give you a taste of the broad variety of music written for violin and viola. And so we're continuing that with our next selection. We'll be playing 2 pieces from a larger work called Rumi Settings by the composer Augusta Reed Thomas. This piece, which is obviously for violin and viola, is inspired by a certain poem by the poet Rumi. And I'd like to read for you the first 2 stanzas of this poem, which correspond to the 2 movements that we'll be playing. Don't worry about saving these songs, and if one of our instruments breaks, it doesn't matter. We have fallen into the place where everything is music. The strumming and the flute notes rise into the atmosphere, and even if the whole world's harp should burn up, there will still be hidden instruments playing. So, the candle flickers and goes out. We have a piece of flint and a spark. The next work on the program is perhaps the shortest piece that we're playing. It clocks in at only about 1.5 minutes. This piece is by the German composer Hans Werner Henze. During coronavirus time and our quarantine, I think a lot of us have picked up weird hobbies and fun little things. One of the things that I've been doing a lot is learning about Henze and learning some of his music. He has a majestic viola sonata, and I fell in love with his string quartets, and I can't stop listening to it, and I can't stop talking about it. And I've even been reading his biography, his autobiography, so it's been a lot of fun to explore this person's life and his music. And so I was overjoyed when I found this short work for violin and viola. The piece is dedicated to the mother of a bride, so it celebrates the wedding of Allegra and Boris, and Henze was good friends with Allegra's mother, so he wrote this as a gesture of friendship. So I hope you enjoy this short but wonderful work by Hans Werner Henze. The final piece on today's program is the first movement of Martinů's 3 Madrigals. I've always loved playing this piece because it has a sort of incessant energy to it, and it fills me with a lot of excitement, even while we've been stuck at home all these many months. So I hope you enjoy Martinů's, the first movement of Martinů's 3 Madrigals.
And thank you for coming to our concert. I hope everybody stays healthy, safe, and happy.
Bye.